In this video, we're going to do a couple of examples using a rollover effect with text. And we're going to do that like the standard way. And then we're going to use transitions, which are kind of animations, 2D animation that we can do with HTML and CSS. I'm going to use Dreamweaver here, but you can also do it if you're using another editor. So, and if you're interested in the Dreamweaver video course, you will find all the lessons in the channel. Especially if you find this difficult, you can, start from the basics. So what I'm going to do here is just start to type some pretty basic text in the body of the document. So I just type here text button, and it's kind of small and it doesn't have any selector or any specification. So I'm gonna make this an heading 1. So I'm gonna underline, and you can see if I move from the live section of the interface here in the code, I can see I have the properties panel down there, and I can assign heading 1 to the text, so it becomes a little bit bigger. And now I can apply some modifications, some editing on this. And if I want to create a link, I can just type an hashtag inside the link part. So let's go in the CSS part. And I'm going to change the font, for example. And we also saw in another video how we can modify the font and install new fonts. I'm going to change the color, make it something like purplish, and then I can do it this. I can change the bold, the italic. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we can see it better. I want to make this like 100 pixels. So it's going to be pretty big and pretty visible. And also from here, I can access the page properties from the properties panel. And here I can say, okay, I want all the links in my page to be acting using this information right here. So this is already CSS. So if I say, for example, rollover links will be purple or pink, and the link color when it's not rollover is going to be another color. And then I can also set the visited links color and the active links color, and I don't want to underline in this case, which is kind of the standard. So, well, this doesn't affect the text until I actually place a link inside. So let me show you down here. I'm going to type another line of text, and that's going to be a paragraph. Right now it's a P paragraph, but I'm going to change this into a heading again. And so I'm going to make it a heading, going here, selecting in the code, and then switching. So and you can see that this heading looks different from the previous because in the previous one, I'm using a CSS that it's directly in line. So it's not applied throughout the whole page, but only on that line of text. And I can see it right here. If I go in the code, I can see that all the information about the style are directly inside this line of code. So this is called the inline style. The inline CSS. And then up here in the head of the document, I have also here some CSS information and that it's in page. We can also make an external CSS, but we're not going to do it right here. Now, all I'm going to do is underline the part where I want to add the link, go here in the link part and just type an hashtag. So that becomes a link. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't connect me to any other page, but you can see we have now the rollover effect. Now this is a standard rollover effect, so it's not actually an animation, it's just a change of state. But if I want to make something more soft and nice and easy, like ease in or ease out animation, I need to use the transitions. So first of all, let me get here in the page properties again and define here. So this is the links that I've defined, but here I can change other stuff of the overall page or the document. So for example, the background. So I want to change the background, and this is again an inline style. You can see it now in the body. And now I want to work with this text button part. Now to apply a transition is better if we control it with a class. So if I go here in the CSS designer, I want to create a new selector for this operation, for this action, and it's going to be, for example, dot hover. So when you define a class, you use dot. Make sure you select the style, which is the style inside the page as a CSS source. Otherwise, it will not create the actual class. And if it doesn't create it, I'm going to just create it down here manually in the code. So I'm going to insert it in the head. So I'm going to type dot hover, and then I can also copy and paste this part. So there you go. Now I can see it appearing also in the selectors in the CSS designer. So you do it one way or the other, but you need a class. Now, once you have it, we can go in the CSS transitions, which right now are not visible. So I need to open up in the window the CSS transitions panel. And from here, let me make this a little bit smaller, like this. From here, I click on the plus, and now I can create a new transition with a target rule. So I'm going to target the hover class that I just created, and I'm going to work with that. And the transition is going to be on when. So if you want to create a rollover effect, we can go to hover, and then we have other options, but you can investigate by yourself all these others. So I'm going to go here to hover, and when I go over, so the action is going to be when I go over with my mouse, I'm going to set here a duration for the animation, and the timing. If you want a nice ease, you can put ease in animation, or you can also try the others. So now that we have defined when the thing is going to happen and how much time, I can click on the properties and say what is going to happen. So if it's going to change the color of the text or other. So if you want to change color, just look for the color and apply it. And then let's apply another, like a brighter color for the over. And then you can continue. You can apply all of these properties right here that will animate your element. It can be also an image, not only a text, also like a div. So let's use another background color. I'm gonna make this like a little darker perhaps, or with another color. And then again, let's try with another one. Let's try with the font size. Let's make it 150, so it's gonna get bigger. And then one last, just to show you that you can put as many as you want. Let's do some letter spacing also, so that the characters will also move a little bit. I'm gonna type here something like 20 or 30 pixels. Now, once you finish to set up everything, you click on create transition, and all you need to do, you can see the transition right here, by the way, so you can delete them, retrieve them, add more transition. And then you can see in the live view, if we go over the text area, in the text button area, we can see it automatically goes and reacts to the rollover. So when I go over with my mouse, it's triggering that animation. So it's all about the action you want to do, the animation you want to do, and the trigger that triggers that thing. So, and everything is in the code. So if you want to look in the code, you'll find everything in here now, because we are working inside the page. So we are now using an external CSS element. And that's pretty much it. So I think that's good enough for this video guide. If you're interested in more videos about Dreamweaver, you can check the video course. You can check also other videos and courses in the channel. Subscribe if you want to stay updated, and join the channel if you want to support us, thank us, creating more. And that's it. So all the rest is in the course. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.